So welcome everybody. We are going to be presenting today the Leverage Your Matterport scans with Autodesk Construction Cloud.
So for those of you who might not know us, I'm Nick King. I head up the sales and services for Matterport. And then Monet Fisher, who is our pilot there, who's just waved. He is our visualization and media application engineer. And then we have Mr. Dino Kapik, our AAC application engineer and a professional at everything ACC. So yeah, so between these two guys, you've got the best brains in town with this. So yeah, let's get started. Thanks, guys.
So in terms of what are we covering today within our section, Monet is going to take us through the introduction section, as well as the welcome to the Matterport application. After which I'll then take over for the welcome to Autodesk build application, and then I'll run through the demo on how these two started integrating with each other. Right, Monet, I'm going to hand it over to you.
All right, happy days. All right.
Hey, tell Kevin we need to redo this wall.
We have to demo it all. The electricians won't play ball.
Redesign the hall?
I'll tell Nathaniel.
Material recall.
Okie dokie.
They're gonna fire Paul.
What did I do?
Make it 3 feet tall.
3 meatballs?
Fire and directing wall.
Yeah, the pipe's too small.
Recall.
Hexagonal.
Horizontal?
Greg! Greg! We need to install
A waterfall.
Cool waterfall.
Be on the same page at every stage with Autodesk Construction Cloud.
Where's Paul?
I could watch that a million times. I still love that video, and it's so true.
Yeah, look, we've all seen this video quite a couple of times.
Yeah.
But yeah, basically what it's just, trying to explain to us is that we really need to work on our communication. As advanced as humans are, our communication is absolutely horrible. So that's basically what we're talking about today is working on that communication, and that's where the other two C's will combine in, as Dino mentioned earlier. So yeah, no, definitely something to think of as we go ahead. Right, so here's a couple of statistics that we just pulled from Autodesk itself. Right, so the first one we're looking at there is 95% of all captured communication goes unused. Right, so we capture a lot of data in our day-to-day lives, and we simply don't use it. Right, the information is there. We just need to grab it, use it, and start leveraging it to our advantage. Right, then the next one there is 9% of project costs. So most projects go over costing, and most of that, so 9% of it, is basically due to rework. All right, so be it direct, indirect, and you'll see 52% of that rework is basically just due to poor communication, poor data management, and not leveraging the mass amounts of data that we collected earlier. So that is what we're looking to fix, and that is what we're looking to leverage Matterport for. So what are we actually getting from any reality capturing service? Firstly, as you can see in the headliner there, I just want to highlight that it's about visual clarity, right? It means that anybody, all of our stakeholders, have clarity on what's going on in our project. All right. And for a lot of our stakeholders, they are not the engineers, they are not the architects. They are the guys that their job is making money, and they do that very well. And part of their job is not to understand construction drawings. That's for us engineers and architects to kind of understand. So we're giving them visual clarity of not only what's going on around the sites and how the project itself is progressing, but we're giving it to them in a way that they will understand it. And as well, we're giving all the information to all of our stakeholders in a fashion that they would understand it. All right, so let's look at some of the stuff that reality capture itself gives us. Right, so first and foremost, we get to go from capturing our site, generating the point clouds to our as-built model much faster. Right, and this is where Matterport kind of like they vary their touch. Right, we can go for the full touch method, which means we capture it with our Matterport services. We take that point cloud and we ask Matterport to simply give us an LOD 200 model. Right, we can draw schematic floor plans from it. We can, get everything we need from that point cloud, or we can lighten the touch a bit. So we can use the point cloud itself to model over on our side, and we can even lighten the touch even more to just using it as a communication tool as to, giving up issues or RFIs on site. And really, it goes hand in hand with our third object there, which is connecting the office to the job site. All right, so there's three levels of, touch strength that we can use Matterport for, and our reality capture in general, to get what we need for each individual project. Another thing we're looking at is just improved communication. Right now we have visual transparency on our project. We all know we've had this on sites as well. Our site manager will take pictures and send us pictures with what's been done today. And they choose very interesting angles sometimes. And for a lot of those angles, it's to hide what's going on behind the camera. All right, so they're trying to hide their crimes and only show you the best pictures. Whereas with reality capture, there is no real hiding. Right, we have the data there and everybody has access to that data and they can see what's going on site themselves. And then again, just the last object of connecting our job site to the office. Look, again, all of us have been on construction sites before. And one of the big things that I've noticed on construction sites is when the people with the clean boots come onto site, work stops, right? And whilst they're there, whilst they're doing their meetings, no real work on site happens, be this due to safety concerns, be this due to, us taking up space on their site where they need to physically be working. So we actually be able to connect our job site with our office crew. And again, we can have them immediately start working instead of having to go back and forth from site the whole time. So that already, is a big boon in my mind. And Dino and myself have used this on multiple projects, including our own projects, where he's never stepped onto site at all, but giving me an as-built model within a couple of days, of me scanning it. So there already we're seeing that, he can stay where he's best, behind the PC, doing his modeling job, and modeling like an absolute speed demon sometimes. And I get to go where I am best at, which is on-site scanning, getting that information for him and getting it to him as quickly and concisely as possible. Right. So just looking at welcome to Matterport and why reality capture and digital twins are so crucial just for our day-to-day in the construction industry. Right, so beyond us talking about the intensity we want to use Matterport or reality capture in our construction workflow. We've also got multiple levels of technology we can use within that workflow. So the first one you can see there is our 360 cameras or non-LiDAR scanning methods. So that's your Instas, your Ricos, all of those types of cameras. And we mainly use this for our day-to-day updates. We can quickly run through site, grab a couple of snaps, be it with Matterport or be it with something like HoloBuilder. We can constantly update everybody on what's happening on site and what is crucial on site, right? So that's where we don't use our measurement as heavily. The next one there is our 3D reality capture and LiDAR technologies. That's where we're starting to use our Matterports and our Pro 3s, especially seeing as we've got access to those now. So there we're getting really good measurement data that we can use to start getting that as-built done to collect all the measurements that we need for our final work at the end of the day. And then the last one we've got there is our high-end surveying cameras. So there we're looking at our Leicas and our Faro cameras. So those are for those niche points where we really need that high quality scanning. So will we use this every day? Probably not. But when we do need that millimeter accuracy, we can use our high density terrestrial scanners like the Faro and the Leica.
And just a side note, this lot, it almost takes like 10 seconds, 30 seconds to set up a Matterport. If you look at it there, the way that he's doing it, literally within a few minutes, boom, it's all set up and gone. Just a bit of info on the side.
Yeah, so sorry about that. My headphones decided to switch off. But yeah, like Nick said, to set this up and to get started on site, within 30 seconds, you're up and running and you can start scanning. So it's really quick, and it was made simple so that the consumer market can use it. So it was made for anybody to be able to pick up a camera and to get scanning as quickly as possible. So you don't have to sit in training for 3 weeks just to learn how to operate and set up our scanners. Right, the next point there is we've got access to our scans in all formats, right? Be it mobile, be it tablet. What's nice about this is we're running on an online platform. So we don't have to go out and buy an expensive PC to view what we have scanned or to view the data. You can simply do it from your phone or tablet, and you directly have access to all the information you need. And then, as I said as well, we're running this on a cloud platform. So again, this allows us to connect this to our ACC projects and start leveraging our data there, as well as being able to, at any point, whether you are on site or in the office, have access directly then and there when issues arise or when something happens and we need to take immediate action.
Say, for all the tools that come for the Matterport items, it's pretty impressive. So in terms of Matterport, in the integration into the Autodesk Construction Cloud section, let's actually go and see what it's like with Autodesk Build. So I'll cover from here in terms of welcome to the Autodesk Build platform. So the whole idea behind this platform is to connect the field and project management workflows. So we improve construction management and empower all builders with a better connected teams, improved workflows, and if I could put it this way, cognitive data. So data that is smart it's learning, it's talking back to you. So it's not just bland and stale. And then, of course, with the better integration now with Matterport and its scanners. So what are the mainline features that we are utilizing within this Autodesk Build environment? Well, the first one would actually be the centralized issue management tool. The idea here is we can track all issues from a design to handover in one place, create accountability to resolve issues faster and with more transparency. And that's the key word here, is the transparency item. So we access all issues from one place, create and visualize issues from site or from the project or even our designing aspects. We connect the construction workflows, customize issue settings, and generate and share issue reports. The other item we spoke about was connecting your field and your office. So we streamlined the workflows by managing construction RFIs in single platforms, reducing risk of data loss, and connecting RFIs to other tasks across the project lifecycle. So managing RFIs in the field and in the office have become that much more simple because of this common data environment or centralized platform. So in terms of configuring these items and their workflows is built into the system as well. And then, of course, we streamline quality and safety inspections. So instead of now consolidating all of my stuff to go onto site like pens, pencils, paper, bags, and the frustration that comes along with it, we started digitizing these workflows. So the idea now is we set up your quality and safety forms to fit your construction project needs and to ensure all crucial project information is captured. Again, everything comes to that centralized point. So let's connect your workflows and generate and share reports with the team from this platform as well, and decide how the team should collaborate, communicate, and coordinate within the project lifecycle itself. Then we track all these changes within active activity logs. So what does that look like in terms of the Autodesk Build issue management? The idea here is we connect the field and office seamlessly. So we track all issues from design to handover in one place. Access all information from one place. And again, that's design, coordination, quality, safety, and commissioning issues from the same issue log. Use sorting and filtering to configure your views and quickly find the issues you are looking for. We also have the ability to create and visualize issues. In a few quick, easy steps on the web or mobile access, place pins to identify the exact location of the issue on a 2D sheet or a 3D model. And added to that, because of the Matterport integration, on a point cloud or 3D scan now. Add photos and document references to provide the team with even more information and content. The idea that we can connect construction workflows allows us to save time and increase transparency by creating essential references between issues, forms, and RFIs. Create an issue directly from the form. If needed, immediately escalate that to an issue and even further as an RFI tool. From here, you can customize issue settings. So if you're not happy with what Autodesk has given you, go forward and create your own. So create custom fields to capture specific data for each issue type. Set up a 3-character issue pin, label to help team members quickly understand what type of issue they're looking for. Is it commissioning? Is it a PRM? Is it a snagging item? Is it a punch list item? You can go create those customizations as well. In terms of further information, you can create a summary or a detailed report out of all issues, RFIs, and checklisting forms that you can easily share even with non-members on the platform. To track issue management with scheduled reports, and these can be scheduled within a weekly or even a monthly basis. And then, of course, manage all your issues on your mobile. So leverage our, let's say, smart devices to create, update, and track issues from the job site, even when you're offline. And with Matterport, that's become even easier because you can have somebody who's on job scanning for you They integrate that data back onto the Matterport platform, and then you just link the two together. Now, it is all mere words that I'm just speaking to you. It's more action to show from my side. So before we go into action, let's just talk about what type of integration Autodesk Construction Cloud comes with. So in this case, the common data environment is ever expanding, and we start with Autodesk Construction Cloud. Knowing and understanding all Autodesk products have an integration inside. If you don't work alongside Autodesk products and you work for maybe the competitors, nothing is stopping you with connecting to the cloud to share and integrate your data. But if you're not a designer, let's say you're more of a dashboarding person, there's those integrations as well. If you're on a cost management side, there's that type of leveraged add-on on top of the design and the dashboarding. But if you are just like an Office bunny, like the majority of us, and you use, let's say, more Microsoft Office 365 products, you can directly now, if you could say, update, upload, collaborate, coordinate those documentation. And depending on the device you are, regardless if you're pro Android or very much Apple orientated, Autodesk Construction Cloud does integrate with the two. And of course, Hollow Builder was mentioned at the beginning here. So Hollow Builder does have that integration with the Construction Cloud. However, this is not about these items, but more the Matterport item. And this is the new item that has been part of now the Autodesk Construction Cloud family. So let's go into this demo and showcase to you what this feature looks like within action. So starting first and foremost, I know that my team has scanned, so I just simply need to sign into my Matterport project. Once I've signed in with my unique credentials, I'm allowed then to go see what the team has scanned out on the site itself. And this site can vary in terms of its size, from a hospital to even an office block or a small dwelling of a house. I've got different types of features. The one I need specific is add-on. And I'm going to navigate down to there where it says Autodesk Construction Cloud RFI and issues and launch it. And immediately it's going to launch the scan model for me to view. And the beauty about this is I'm sitting in my office while somebody's out on site who's already scanned this information. And all I need to do now is navigate around this building. And I can already see that there are pins placed around this model. So as I'm orientating effortlessly around the model, I can view these pins. What are those mainline issues that are showcasing within the pins? And if I want to now go create a pin myself and navigate to where there's an issue on site, and I can see that there's an exposed light panel. So from here, I need to now tell those who are effectively responsible of updating, changing, and let's say correcting this. So I drop a pin and I get 4 basic fields. First, I type in my title, of course. So this is a missing light panel. It has an open status. So that means the moment I'm in Autodesk Construction Cloud, it shows the status. In terms of the type, I can now go choose what type of issue is this. Is it a punch list? Is it an observation? Is it a quality item? By the way, each type can be reported on in its own separate item. And then further, just to add a little bit more context to this, I write out a description. So light glass panel is missing. This item needs to be replaced. Please, scanning team, or please, construction team, go update this before occupation takes place within this building. And all I do is I create it. Now, the nice thing about this is I can add even more information. So on my own PC, I use the snipping tool to take a photo of that little item, even though it's already in the scan. So I'm just going one extra step for my guys out on site. Of course, I save this on my PC. So if you have a proper naming convention, do so as well. I just call it 04. And then I go to the Autodesk Construction Cloud, and you'll see there the issue is as a missing light panel, it's live. I can edit the information, but most importantly, I can assign this now to those who are responsible. I can set up the location on where this issue takes place. I can set up due dates on when I want this to be solved. We can even set up a starting date for my team and say, look, next week is the due date, but tomorrow is the starting day. I can go find root causes on what caused this particular issue within the project. And then further to that, if I want, I can comment, but most importantly, I can add additional reference details like a photo. So in this case, I go choose the photo, I say upload, I choose the file, and I just go navigate for that file I want to embed within this issue item. And it's just quick, easy capturing of data, not just from the scanning side, but now from a data management side on a project. But we're not done yet. I can see the activities on this item. So when certain items were added, by which user, at what date, at what time. And then most importantly, all of these issues can be created in a report. So here I'm writing up now a report for our weekly inspections between our scanning team and our construction team. I give the report my own unique title. It's fine. I make sure that it's a detailed report. So it will add the photos, the cover page, table of content. And if I need a sheet overview in case I have pin drops on a PDF, it takes roughly 5-10 minutes for this report to go, depending on your internet connection. Mine was a lot better last night, so this report will come out a lot quicker. But it's going to give you two items in terms of the report. A link for the user to go download from, or the actual PDF report itself that you can attach to an email to send out to your team. Here you'll see I'll download the report now, and it opens up to showcase what that document looks like. So let's go through the document. As I'm loading up Autodesk Build, I'm now going to go open up that PDF document. Under my downloads, I select for it. There it is. There's my front page with my title on the report. Who wrote the report, when the report was out, how many items make up in that report. There's the missing light panel section with all the information in terms of description, photos, assignments, dates. There are other issues that are pending, closed, and open from either end and whoever it was assigned to. I can even go as far as to see who commented on those issues within the Autodesk Construction Cloud environment. Most importantly, my team is not a part of the cloud environment, so I'm going to go to correspondence and immediately from the platform, send an email. This is a nice nifty little feature that comes with Autodesk Build. So if you're looking to integrate your Matterport scanning with Autodesk Build, there's a lot more features to leverage than just issue management. If you need to do communication, you can do so now. If you're looking to do coordination in terms of issues, RFIs, submittals, and checklists, you can do that. And if you're looking to collaborate, users with Autodesk Build licenses can join your project, no problem. Licenses do cross hubs and projects. So you can set up a project and invite other members now as well. So in this instance, you can see that I'm busy writing up my quick little email with the response. Please find attached report PDF copy. This report showcases all of our ongoing issues on site. And of course, I will then add the link on the PDF document. And you will see earlier on, I've attached 3 users on this project being Monet, Sean, and myself as well. So they will get now access to that link to download that PDF report, as well as the report itself. So here I'm going to go choose the file, go to my downloads where that report was sent, select and attach it. And it's that simple. It works like a normal email outgoing item. Keep in mind that it's linking my user account with my current email as well. So link is below if you can't download the PDF. Control V to paste that and simply create. If you want, you can add a status of due dates even to see when the response should come in. So this is an open item that hasn't been closed. I want a response by tomorrow, send it through. So there's a lot that we can do with the information that is coming from site, not just from our designers, not just from our contractors, but those who are now surveying the site for as-built information as well. And it's that quick and effortless with the Autodesk Construction Cloud. So In terms of a live demo, or if you want to see this demo from one of us, it's as simple as scanning right here. Probably about what, 10 seconds to scan. But if you miss the timing, because sometimes I don't keep my word for 10 seconds, and we go into what's at our Q&A, the QR code is still available, and we are now opening up for Q&A. So please do ask us, and we're more than happy to answer what we can.
So just one thing I want to say that, Dino, is this morning when that mail came through, you actually had me going real well. I just see my issues report coming through, and that I have three issues that were overdue. And I quickly just jumped on my phone while I was busy getting ready this morning and quickly just checking what was going on. So yeah, it got me with that one.
So it was quite funny. Sean was talking to me this morning because I linked him into that same email, and he's like, what are all these issues? I know that this is the new offices that we've been scanning, but we can't have so many so quickly. And he wants to now reply to every single one of them. But why I say this, it's that excitement that it's a new platform that we're using where everything is centralized from one point. So all my data is at one point, all my communication is at one point. And the way I now coordinate with my team is a lot more efficient rather than looking at the siloed approach where, oh, you use that FTP site. Okay, you use this online storage device. Oh, you use this type of tool. No, at this stage, we can all use one centralized area to communicate back and forth from. Okay, we every now and again will still use our own Outlook or this other piece of software, but the fact is, we don't have to work the long, hard way, but the more effective future way, if I could put it that way. And if we have all of this new technology, let's use it. Let's make life easier for us at work, even.
Guys, I have a question that came through. Somebody asked if they don't have Autodesk software, can they still view, if anybody sends them a link or wants to incorporate them within the info that's being shared, can they still view it, or do they have to have an Autodesk account?
So that's interesting. It depends on how much information they want to view. This is like almost like a private club in the sense of, oh, we can see all of our information in this common data environment. But it's not restricted to that. So if I need to export something out and send it to a user, I can do so. It's not a problem. So even if you don't have access to our project in the cloud, we can still export PDF reports out to that user and email them directly as we've done in the demonstration.
Cool.
So
Yeah,
that capability,
them,
capability is there.
Cool, thanks. Yeah, that's a good question, actually. Okay, is there anybody else who has any questions from their side?
While we're waiting on that, there's one question I can ask Dino. Since we started with reality capture and using that for our as-bills, how much happier are you with that than my previous chicken scratches on a paper that I used to give you?
Yeah.
You know what? It was frustrating, mainly because your handwriting and my handwriting are two different styles already. So to read your shorthand, I struggled. But even when I was out on site doing inspections, I had my tape measure, I had this A0 piece of paper, and then you do the 1 meter walk. Okay, that's directly 1 meter, and it is surprising. As good as we think we are on site, we are prone to human error. Let's put it that way. My 1 meter versus somebody else's 1 meter, especially if we have to guesstimate it, are two different things. But the fact that we have scan data and the ability not to go to site, it helps me tenfold, saves my car on the wear and tear on the tires and of course the petrol. So it's a huge difference in terms of what we used to do versus what we're doing now.
And that's also another thing where Dino has often come to me when I, just come back from site, give him all the measurements that I took. And I don't know how he does it, but he always finds the one measurement I did not take that day. And he comes to me, he's like, okay, so Monet, this measurement here, should I be guesstimating this, or do you have the measurement there? And 99% of the time, knowing Dino, he's not going to go with a guesstimation. I know I'm going back to site tomorrow and I'm going to remeasure. So yeah, that's happened quite a couple of times as well.
Yeah, true story.
Well, but at this point now, in terms of all the scanning data we got, it's just so much easier to go onto the Matterport site and just use this measurement tools from there, because you can get actually a pretty accurate means of measurement. And I don't even now talk to Monet every now and again in the office. I just send him an issue and he communicates via Autodesk Construction Cloud with me at this point. I'm sure he's tired of hearing my my berating. Why am I not getting the correct measurements today?
Exactly. I think we have one last question here. The question is, do I have to use a Matterport scanner in order to do these scans and access the Autodesk ACC?
So not at all. You do need a Matterport subscription to do obviously that connection. But Matterport is quite happy for you to use, like I said, the Insta360 cameras, the Ricoh cameras. That's also a 360 camera. You can obviously use the Matterport Pro 2 and 3 for that, as well as the Leica. So the Leica BLK as an example, you can also use that there. So no Faro integration yet, but we'll see where this goes.
So it sounds like it's an open source still, so it's not restricted.
Correct, exactly that. Matterport over Norm is, they started out in the software industry, and that's where they're making, their big waves with their AI Cortex. So they're quite happy to use any camera. I mean, you can even use a cell phone if you really want to, whether it be your Android or Apple. Just to answer your question there, Dino, as well prior, I am an Android fan and will always be an Android fan. No Apple here, but yeah, so I mean, it's actually quite an open platform, and there isn't really, if you think about it, that big cost to entry as well. You don't need to buy the most expensive camera to get started. You can get started with your cell phone and move your way up as you're going forward.
Just to add on that, in terms of the Autodesk Construction Cloud section, so it's also open not just for interpretation, but to code in your own type of software and integration. So we do have a team available here in Autodesk that can help you design certain plugins from one piece of software into the Autodesk Construction Cloud area as well. So it's not just limited to the Matterport stance, but if you want to even improve there, you can. You're not limited to just the tools available. If you have the means to, let's say, run exceptional code, or let's say a bridging connection, it is open for users like that. And if you can't do it, request from us and we'll open the basement to our coders over here. It shouldn't be a problem.
Yeah, they're quite happy to stay inside the basement during these December months, but the heat is coming up. So we might give them some sunlight if that is required.
Yeah, they can use a new fan, eh?
Cool. It looks like that's all the questions from the attendee side. Yeah, so I think I'm just going to say thank you very much to Monet and Dino once again for a very insightful webinar. And like I said, this is recorded. We will be sharing it with everybody. And if you have any more questions, I mean, you were able to scan the QR code there for a demo, but you're welcome to pop us an email or give us a call at any time. And if you need more technical experience or anything like that, Dino and Monet are available, and myself for any other sales questions. But yeah, thank you very much, everybody, for joining, and we will see you at our next webinar. Thank you very much, everyone.
Bye-bye.
Ciao, ciao.